Okay. So, the United States culture, one of the things that is unique about United States culture is something called cultural diffusion. A lot of places want to be like the United States from a lot of different respects. So, other places around the world look at us and they attempt to copy some of the things that we do. We have different cultural traits that we try and spread out. Or we don't try and spread out, but we have different cultural traits that get spread out across the world. Things like McDonald's, Starbucks coffee. You can see there in the Chinese pagoda in Beijing, in that old building, there's Starbucks coffee.
Richard Dawkins is on America.
What's that?
Richard Dawkins is on America. It's like America runs on.
Wow.
No,
That's
it,
so cool.
it doesn't run on Dunkin'.
I don't
It's
think
not
I've
that
ever.
good actually.
I don't think I've ever been to Dunkin'
Donuts are under or overrated.
Didn't they
And
get rid of the
Dunkin'
donuts?
Donuts are overrated, says the girl
No,
who sits here and eats the pile of sugar in ecstasy from Sandy's Donuts.
No, it's take one piece off and then eat it.
And just.
Yeah, because that's a good.
So donuts are overrated.
I'm pretty sure.
The ones that aren't completely sugar are overrated.
Yep.
Except the custard ones.
Oh, yeah.
That are pure sugar.
Boston cream filled eclairs. Yeah. That's my jam right there.
The angel frost, I don't.
And you know what's
fancy
funny?
any
That in Germany they just listen to American music.
Yeah, like in English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that would be like us listening to German music. Just
Well, here's what I can tell you about German music. For years, David Hasselhoff was a significant recording star in Germany. The guy from Knight Rider, Baywatch.
The guy.
no, I
The
saw
guy
him
with
in
the
Hop.
SpongeBob that they
Yeah.
use as a boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
I saw him in Hop.
The Hoff.
The Hoff.
The Hasselhoff.
About that tall, got a Jerry curl, kind of wet-looking hairdo. Kind of looked like Emma's hair when she walked in this morning, kind of wet and curly, but shorter, but about only to the shoulders.
He's in the movie Dodgeball. He's like the.
He is in the movie Dodgeball. He's in a lot of movies.
He's for the coach for like the German team, and he's yelling in German after they lose.
The other thing that we'll talk about is cultural convergence. It's when two cultures get together and merge and form a hybrid.
What's his name?
David Hasselhoff. You can.
Okay.
Oh.
One of
He's
the
in SpongeBob.
Yeah.
okay. That's an odd reference, but I'll take it.
He's in like the SpongeBob movie.
Yeah,
Okay.
he shoots him out. He shoots him like a rocket.
Yeah.
Okay.
Muscles.
So that guy right there, the SpongeBob guy, is a huge recording star in Germany. So, I mean, he's no Drake, but
He wishes he could be here.
Davis.
you don't need this. We'll just talk about this. So we talked about it a little bit, and you guys have brought up examples, but it's one of those deals where it's not uncommon if you travel abroad to see people dressed like you're dressed. Coca-Cola is around the world. McDonald's is around the world. If you go to McDonald's in any other part of the world, you can't order a quarter pounder because they run on the metric system. So you have to order a Royale with cheese. Now, the United States, as the United States has expanded to different spots throughout the country, they've also started to incorporate different cultures into our cultural lexicon. So as more and more Latinos immigrate into the United States, Cinco de Mayo has become a thing. Eddie, how do you feel about Cinco de Mayo? You're.
You said Eddie.
Oh, I'm sorry, Arnie.
I don't know.
I like it.
So, about 2 weeks ago, you told me how much you hated Cinco de Mayo.
See, with the male, that's a different thing.
Oh.
Male's a different thing. I don't know, it's just, I guess I just kind of sit down that day, think about Mexicans.
You got Mardi Gras. Things like having a luau, piñatas at parties, all those things. That's a way of cultural convergence. So as we've expanded and people have come into our culture, we've adapted different things from their cultures and incorporated it into ours. You can see all the places in the world where there's Starbucks, all the places in the world where there's McDonald's. Fun fact, it's not Burger King in Australia, it's Hungry Jack's.
What do we need out here?
Manifest Destiny. So the United States has been referred to as a melting pot. The reason it's a melting pot is because it has been the stopping point for a variety of different cultures from around the world. The unique thing about the United States is that for the most part, and we talked about in world history, but for the most part, all of the peoples around the world were kind of already where they were, and then all of a sudden you opened up a new place and they had a different place to go. Like the English were hanging out in England, Germans were hanging out in Germany, the Chinese were hanging out in China. Every place else was settled by the same people that are basically there now. But the United States, as it opened up, everybody started to come to the United States. So you got a whole group of different cultures all combining together. There's been different, and we talked about it a little bit earlier, but there's been different world events that has led to different cultures coming here. Recently, and when I say recently, within the last 150 years, you've had like the Irish potato famine that had all the Irish people coming over. The majority of our ancestors are either German or Scandinavian. And World War I, the ramp up to World War I left some Germans to come over. There was some droughts in Scandinavia that it just, as things expand, more and more people come over. Talk about Manifest Destiny. You probably should have heard that term at some point in your schooling career. Manifest Destiny refers to the westward expansion of the United States after the original 13 colonies. Recently, the most cultural immigration we've had recently has been from Latin America. So more and more people from Latin America, especially Mexico, have been coming into the United States, typically in the southwestern portion of the United States, but more and more throughout the entirety of the United States. You don't really need any of this, we'll just talk about it. Some of the things that happen as more and more people come in to an area, areas become more bilingual. So if you go to Phoenix, if you go to San Diego, if you go to Los Angeles, if you go to Albuquerque, if you go basically anywhere in the American Southwest, there's a really good chance that you're going to run into more and more bilingual people. You have to be able to speak Spanish or the version of Spanish that Mexicans speak. Like if you've taken Spanish from Miss Stephenson and you go down there and you properly conjugate verbs and stuff like that, they're gonna look at you funny and they might not understand your syntax. But if you listen to like Eddie's parents speak Spanish and then you carry on a conversation with them, it's Arnie, I'm sorry. For some reason I got track in my brain and we were just talking about Eddie and I got it on my brain. I'm apologize. But if you listen to Arnie's parents speak Spanish, it's going to sound different than if you listen to Miss Stephenson speak Spanish. Talked about blending of cultures, talked about religion. Anybody ever Anybody ever seen any of these places?
Nickelodeon
What's the bottom corner?
That's
Not that.
one of the bridges in Madison County.
Been to Mall
Been to the White House.
Okay, so before you guys get on the bus, your assignment, we got an assignment in this class. It'll be posted to Schoology in about 5 minutes, but we'll do the review first. It is, tell me a place that you've been in the United States, touristy place, any place, the coolest place that you've personally been, and one place you would like to go in the United States. That's your homework for tonight.
Is Carnegie Hall in New York?
It is.
Have you been to Nickelodeoners?
watched
I have.
I've been to the Arch in North America, that's about it.
So, that's your homework. Best of luck today.
The kid, do I have a new joke?